Awesome. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Area 51. With us, Maxim Fossey, who's our writer for the Vancouver Whitecaps Football Club, as well as Joshua Rey, host of Avid Discussers. How are you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good yourself?
Good, good. I see Josh is still on mute. You joining us today?
Totally.
Okay, right on. So another episode brought to you by and presented by our friends at Bench Clears. We have a contest happening right now as well with Bench Clears. So if you shop at benchclears.com and use our promo code Area51SENTME, you can get 10% off on your order. And then if you show me proof of purchase before the end of the month, which is very, very soon, it's coming really quickly. We do have a few entries as well already. So you want to get your name in there to potentially win an item of your choice from benchclears.com. So make sure that you can get your name in there. They've got awesome NHL registered and officially licensed merch. They've like air mesh style tanks and shorts that are all branded according to your team. So you can wear and sport your team all summer long in the heat. I know it's been hot here today. How's it down in the Lower Mainland there, Josh?
Yeah, it's all right. It's been warm the last few days. It's about to.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Toasty out today. I was working outside just a few minutes ago and sweating pretty good out there. So nice to come in, take a little break, get some water, and talk some sports with you. I see we lost Max for a little bit here, but
yeah, I have no idea what happened. Yeah, my mic had trouble connecting to the connecting audio. Like I couldn't hear you, so I'm not going to use it.
Oh, okay. No worries. So obviously with today is gray in Vancouver right now. Hey, yeah. It's like not a cloud in the sky here in Kamloops. Like
really?
hardly cloudy at all. Like it's gorgeous. I think it's like 27 degrees outside right now. But such is Kamloops summer, so we're in for a hot one again. But I mean, you've been busy this last week because you put out an episode with Malcolm Ert from Point Shot, and then you had an emergency episode because the Chelsea Football Club ended up becoming the champions. Oh, there you go.
Champions of Europe. Yesterday was the best day of my life.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so, until I get married, until I have kids, yesterday was the best day of my life.
You know what? Fair enough. I've only really had a couple. I've had twice in my life where my team won a championship, which isn't a lot. Like I'm a Seahawks fan, so the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. I also am a Toronto Raptors fan, so the Raptors winning. Um, that's about as close as I've ever gotten to that feeling, but it's not like the Canucks one, right? Like,
Right.
but how many? So this is I'm second for Chelsea.
Second in 9 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah. Did you catch the game, Max, at all?
Yeah, I did. It was actually pretty fun to watch as a neutral, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the final score of it? I'm admitting I'm not a soccer person, so I'm coming into this pretty new. So I defer to you guys.
It was 1-0.
1-0 final, so close one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was close. Like the last 10-15 minutes were the longest 10-15 minutes of my life.
Just watching the clock go down.
Yeah, go up actually. And
right.
Like Man City, like they were attacking, but Chelsea's defense, they bent, but they didn't break. Like just incredible defense, like incredible, like just the way they shut them down. Like people were saying, "Oh, Chelsea's not going to win this. Man City are the favorites. They're the better team," which I kind of had to agree. You have no chance. But just like in 2012, the underdogs come up again. Like both times, Chelsea were the underdogs and won it. And there's also, I just found this out today, that the goal scorer, Kai Havertz, was 29. Mason Mount assisted the goal. He was 19. Chelsea won the Champions League the first time on May 19th, 2012. Yesterday was May 29th, 2021. And the goal was from 19 to 29. That's just crazy.
I love that. Were either of them around for the first one? I mean, that's like 9 years ago, so I'd be shocked. But
yeah, I was. I watched it, but I wasn't as big of a fan than I am today. Fair. So this one is even more special.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, we've got watch out for AFC Richmond Greyhounds in a couple years. Yeah, we'll keep our eye out. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, for being like a lifelong, as long as you've been a soccer fan, Chelsea fan, what drew you to Chelsea? Like, what about Chelsea?
Funny story. Like around 2011, I just turned on the TV, and I believe it was a Chelsea versus Manchester United game, and I saw the team wearing blue, and I thought, that's going to be my football club from now until the day I die. Then a year later, I saw them win the Champions League. I saw them win 2 more Premier League trophies. I fell in love with Didier Drogba goal scoring. Then I fell in love with Frank Lampard, and then Eden Hazard, and now the youth of today. It's really is special. Like yesterday, I was crying. I actually had a cup of water in my hand, and when the final whistle blew, I cheered so hard I actually spilled it on myself.
You Gatorated yourself. Yeah. Full Sully.
Yeah, I did it again when I lifted the trophy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, why not?
Honestly, I can understand. Like, I think if like, I don't even. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even know how I'd react if the Canucks won. I would probably just faint. Just be like, my entire life has culminated to this moment. Like, yeah.
Just cry. That's probably what I would do.
That's how I felt when France won the World Cup too.
Fair. Yeah, just full meltdown.
Yeah, and like the coolest thing too is like when France won the World Cup, I was actually there too in the final. Like
cool.
2 years. No, but that wasn't 2 years ago. 2018. 3 years ago already. But I still remember it like it was yesterday. I was like with my dad and some other family friends, and just the whole match, basically it was just insane, especially like it was pre-COVID too, and just like the last thing I could have celebrated before that, and it's just every people in the street just partying. We're like out of our cars, very dangerous. We're just like hanging their flags out of our cars. Everybody was just like yelling their lungs out. Even like I remember that day too, like even like an hour before the kickoff started for the World Cup final, like people were already like honking in the street. Like people were like,
"Oh man." Well, this is kind of a test question because I don't actually remember what year this was, but I was at the P&E when Italy won
2006.
2006. And I remember the same kind of thing was happening even in Vancouver. Like there was people hanging out of the cars, huge Italian flags flying everywhere. I was like, wow, I didn't actually realize that was happening, first off. Second of all, that there was so much passion for Team Italy there in Vancouver, which is pretty awesome. It was pretty cool to see.
It's funny because that 2006 World Cup was I'd say it was the tournament that made me fall in love with soccer for sure. I remember as a kid I was watching Zidane play, and just every time he had the ball, it was just so amazing to watch as a kid. I was like, wow, this guy's good. I always heard about it from my dad too. My dad's like, oh, Zidane's the greatest player of all time. And then I saw it with my own eyes. I'm just like, okay, yeah, he's not joking.
He might actually be onto something here.
Oh yeah, Zidane, along with Pavel Bure, or the two athletes I wish I was old enough to see play live.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty special. I think that was probably the closest that I've come to being involved in some kind of, or seeing firsthand, a celebration of a World Cup. Hey Dane, how's it going? Yeah, no, it's that's pretty exciting. I'm happy for you, Josh. You've been covering Chelsea for a long time, so it was fun to kind of follow along this whole thing through your pod, and then hear the passion that you have for Chelsea, and then have it culminate this weekend with the championship is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I still can't believe it. It's been like 24 hours now, I believe.
Yeah.
And oh man, I'm gonna get teary-eyed even more.
I think it takes a long time to really sink in. Like I remember the closest I think to, because for me, when the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, I was like brand new to being a fan of the NFL. Like I that year chose the Seahawks as my team because they were going to be like, they were kind of the local team. So I was like, I'm going to get into football this year. I'm going to watch them. And then they go on and win it that year, which pretty good way to cement a fandom. So that was fun. But the Raptors, for me, I was always a Raptors fan for a long time, since Vancouver lost their team. And watching them win was something I never thought I'd ever see. So that was pretty remarkable. That was probably the closest I have to that. Also love Schweinsteiger.
Schweinsteiger, yeah.
Yeah.
In 2006, right? And against,
was it
I think they were in the semifinals in 2006 in Germany, and yeah, that was. I remember the Raptors. Speaking of the Raptors, even in Vancouver, was quite a Raptors fever too, eh?
Oh
that
man,
year,
yeah. Like even here in Kamloops, like I went to the bar to watch each game in the finals, and it was packed. Like you had to go like an hour early, try to get a seat that you could see a TV at. And then like we have quite a few different sports bars, but I remember where I was when they won the championship, and I was in Sharks Club here, and they've got TVs everywhere. So we just kind of snuck into a table. Like there was hardly any space. It was wall to wall people. And I remember Klay Thompson going down with his injury, and it was like you could hear a pin drop in the place. Like it was dead silent. Kevin Durant got hurt, also dead silent. And there was just kind of this rising belief, like the nervous energy going into the game started to dissipate. It was starting to be like, we could win this. Like we're going to win it tonight. And then sure enough, it was like the whole place just erupted when the Raptors won it. I loved it because I love seeing sports that otherwise I think are kind of underloved typically get that recognition and people to recognize just how special that run was really cool.
Yeah, the only thing would have made yesterday even more special if I was in a bar packed with other fans. But due to COVID restrictions, and I just got vaccinated, it wouldn't be smart to drink alcohol a few days after. So that's the only thing that was missing. But other than that, I'm still pretty happy.
Yeah, it is too bad, hey, that like with COVID, the championships that it's kind of impacted. I know it hasn't stopped all the partying for championships by any means, but at least you celebrated responsibly.
Yeah. In London, outside, like people were watching it outside. The streets were full. In West London, New York had a packed bar. I saw on the broadcast.
Crazy.
Bruins game had like 18,000 people or something. That crowd sounded insane, though. It was, I don't know, it felt weird. I remember, actually, this funny story. Me and Josh, I remember we hung out, obviously before COVID during the Champions League final. It was Tottenham against Liverpool, I think.
Yeah, the boring.
And the game was actually so boring to watch. It was like one of the worst games I've actually watched. But it made it all fun because like we were at a bar, there were Liverpool fans just drunk, having a good time the entire time. Because if there weren't any fans around, it would have been like, oh, so dreadful to watch.
Fair, yeah. I didn't realize just how much I missed fans at sporting events. Like it's still really weird and kind of surreal to watch for me, and I'm sure that's a shared feeling, but among other people too, is after everything we've gone through, it's weird to see groups of people again. Like it's been like 15, 16 months of this. So it's weird to think back to that or see it now. Like Vegas has announced for the Golden Knights game that they're going to have capacity crowds, which I have mixed feelings about. Like I'm excited because we're close, but like
how are they gonna regulate for that stuff? Are they?
I guess we're that close. I don't know. Like I have mixed feelings about it. I'm nervous about it, but I'm excited because I feel like we're really close to being out of this. Like I've got my first vaccination. I mean, I know it's a personal choice, but I think the more people that get vaccinated, the better off we'll be, and the sooner we get off to back to some sort of normalcy again. But I love this. So I was at a Mexican resort watching the Raptors while a group from Missouri focused on the Blues. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I think I guess 2019, that would have been the Blues Cup run too.
Yeah,
that would have been a lot of fun. Yeah,
it's funny. The two sides of sports.
Yeah, that was like the 1 year that I was like, yeah, I'm cheering for the Blues on this one, especially since I win against Boston in the final. I make no qualms about cheering against Boston.
Yeah, I also got vaccinated a while ago, but it's really. I mean, still seeing crowds in the stands, like in the Champions League final, you could tell how important that was for each team. Just hearing a lot. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. One of the worst things that happened with sports is the fake crowd noise.
I know. It was rough to hear.
It is so rough. Just like so 5 seconds later, it's like, oh.
I just wish one team recorded like a refs you suck chant and then they piped that in, because that's like one of the biggest things that we missed from having fans is that when the refs blew a call horrifically, there would just be an enormous refs you suck chant. Like I don't advocate for cheering the refs, but like it's part of the atmosphere. That's part of being at the game. Yeah.
John, please watch England versus Germany. Whoa.
Wow. John Cleese is a bold man. Well, like I want to kind of jump into this because I know we've got our show and tell items ready. Maybe Josh does it. He's going to go grab his. So like I like doing this. We started it with Third Line Podcast, and we've been doing a show a random piece of sports merchandise that you have, and if you've got a story to go with it, even better. But I'll kick us off. I've got this guy here. This is a wood hand carved Canucks logo. I got it at a silent auction. Like the one time I've actually ever won anything. I got it super cheap. I think I paid $5 or $10 for it. And the only reason why I ended up winning it, especially that cheap, was that nobody saw it on the table. It was kind of hidden underneath a whole bunch of items that were very similar, and I spotted it out of the crowd there, found the paper underneath everything, and put in my low bid. And yeah, it's one of my favorite, just kind of random little Canucks things. So kind of merchandise, kind of just a random sports related item, but I've got that, and then I've got one more bonus one. I've got a Jerome McGinley bobblehead from when he was with the Blazers.
I love the Ginla so much.
Right? I had to have something Blazers related. Third Line Podcast will love that. Because that was kind of the dynasty period for the Blazers, was the Iginla era. Iginla, Scott Niedermayer, we had Darcy Tucker. Like it was a pretty stacked team. Shane Doan, and so from the 90s dynasty of the Kamloops Blazers, Jerome McGinley.
Can't go wrong with Iggy.
I love Iggy. As much as I'm a Canucks fan and I'm not allowed to like Iggy, I love Iggy. He was a great ambassador for the game. I thought he was a tremendous captain. I found it funny. So like my wife's from Calgary area, and we go out there and visit her family, and it's so funny. They don't like Iggy over there. So they've got mixed feelings about Iggy because of how things broke off. Like because he nixed the trade to Boston originally because he wanted to go to Pittsburgh. And then he was in Pittsburgh for a year, and then signed as a free agent in Boston. And they got the lesser trade package from Pittsburgh. And so they feel gypped there. I was like, at least he allowed you to trade him. Like he could have just said no altogether. I'm retiring a Flame. And what would you have done?
Yeah. And then he went off to Colorado both for years, I think. And then he went
to LA. Yeah, LA, it was weird. As number 88.
Yeah,
it was gross.
He said it's because he had a jersey like that back when he was a kid. It's like, oh yeah, I had an 88 Kings jersey when I was a kid.
Weird. Yeah, it was really weird. I couldn't get used to him being 88.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was just weird seeing him not wearing a Calgary Flames jersey.
Yeah, that too. Especially the Avalanche one was really weird. The Avalanche and the Kings ones, because those are Western Conference rivals, right? Yeah, regarding the Blazers, I do hope Victor Persson joins them next season. Hopefully they should. It'd be awesome. I've been really excited about that pick because then I get to watch a Canucks prospect in-house here. That, of course, this year was pretty weird. All right, who wants to go next with their show and tell?
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see. This is a Pavel Bure rookie card that I got.
That's sweet.
My cousin gave it to me. I don't know where he got this from, but this is incredible. Like I said earlier, one of the few athletes I wish I was alive to see. Because this man pretty much was the Canucks' first superstar. The speed, the goals. I mean, a lot of you older folks, I'm pretty sure this guy is the reason why you love the Canucks, why you fell in love with the Canucks in the first place. So, yeah, this is probably my favorite hockey card right here.
Yeah, that's fair. For me, I'm a bit older than you, but I still he's just kind of out of my memorable lifetime when he was really at his peak. I kind of got him with his knee injuries that I remember, but he was incredible even then. But
I remember I talked to this guy a couple of years ago. He was like this big sports fan like me. He was a huge Canucks fan. And he saw that generation when he was a kid. And I talked to him about Bury, and I asked him if there was a modern player right now in the NHL that you could compare to Bury, who would it be? And he answered like really quickly. He's like Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no surprise. It was speed that we both had.
Speed, hands, like that combination and the edge work. Like, I wish, like, I know a lot of times people will talk about like different players from that era that would thrive in the modern NHL. Bray would be absolutely electric. Like, you would not be able to stop him in any way. Like, they couldn't stop him back in the clutch and grab days, let alone now. Like, he would be drawing like 80 penalties a night. Like, it would just be ridiculous. Yeah. Awesome. All right, Max, you want to go?
Yeah. So my first random sports memorabilia is 2004 Real Madrid jersey.
Oh, cool.
That was for soccer fans out there that are watching us right now. That was the year when Galacticos, I think, were first started with Madrid. So that was when Beckham joined, Zidane was a player, and the Brazilian Ronaldo all played together as the team in Real Madrid. So that's a very cool era jersey, and it's a really good condition as well.
Yeah,
extra large kids. I'm a short guy, so extra large kids is much cheaper to get.
I'm actually jealous for that reason. It'd be cheap to get merchandise.
Yeah. And this one also, it's France 2006 World Cup jersey.
Very
tournament
topical.
made me fall in love with football.
That's
Zidane, Henry, Patrick Vieira, Anelka, I think, Fabien Barthez, just so many good players in that squad. It's just two of my favorite jerseys.
That's really cool. I love that. Oh, we've got some insight here. It was Lyndon who made him fall in love or follow the Canucks. Same era. Yeah, Lyndon and Bury were awesome. It's funny, like from that era, I would say there's kind of four players that really stand out, 4 or 5 players that people really attach themselves to. I would say Lyndon, of course. Like, I've got friends that are named after Trevor Lyndon. I've got friends named after Kirk McLean, Pavel Bure. I would say like Jurke Lume would be in that discussion. And then Gino, of course, Gino Ojic. I would say he would be kind of the fifth guy that people have really attached themselves to from that era. So that's really cool. I wish I got to appreciate that era more. Like, I was born in 93, so I kind of missed all of that. And then my memories basically from like 99 on. So kind of was on the beginning of the Messi or into the Messier days was when I remember stuff. So yeah, he that shall not be named. Yeah, it wasn't really until like the West Coast Express that I was really drawn to the Canucks. So it was like Bertuzzi, Naslund, Morrison that brought me into Canuck fandom. But okay, so before we start taking on some questions, because we do have some Ask Area 51 questions, I just wanted to talk about one of our newest partners here at Area 51, Hapson. So we do have a 25% off promo code for their entire site. 25% off is huge. Like, I was blown away by that special offer. The promo code is Area 51, and they've got really cool kind of sports and athletic apparel that are all hockey stylized. Like, this is one of their hats, and it's got like the laces all the way through the back. Here, I'll show it better. And really comfortable stuff. I went and bought their hat, their shirt. They've got awesome, almost like Lululemon type stretchy athletic pants and hoodies. Really nice stuff. But anyways, here's a quick video just showing the customizable features for Hapson. Yeah, beautiful stuff. And it's all from Quebec. So it is Canadian product. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. I was talking to them a little bit, and they're friends with Guillaume Brizois, Canuck prospect. So I was like, maybe we'll have to have Brizois show up for a podcast eventually here. So here, let's jump into some Ask Area 51 questions. We've got one here from Mike Reed. Your predictions for Game 7 tomorrow between the Leafs and Habs.
Can I go first?
Who takes it? Yes, absolutely.
It's funny because I was talking to Josh about it, and ever since I put my bracket in, my bracket is awful. But I did say Habs in 7.
Really?
I did say Habs in 7 because I had a feeling that, Toffoli was probably going to score quite a few goals. He hasn't, but until yesterday. And I'm probably going to say Toffoli is probably going to score the game-winning goal in Game 7. I'm going to say it.
I'd be both happy and completely devastated by that happening.
Same. I'd be so happy for him, but it's like,
Yeah, like I love Toffoli. I would be happy to see the Habs or the Leafs lose. But as a Canuck fan, what a dagger to the heart. All right, Josh, what do you think?
The Leafs will go up 2-0, and then they'll blow the lead. Then it'll go to overtime. And then Toffoli scores the overtime winner. It'll probably be the stupidest goal you could ever see. It'll probably go off a Leafs defender or like go off Campbell's stick or his pad. It'll just be the stupidest goal ever.
I feel like it'd be like a shorthanded clear breakaway that they should never have allowed, and just right from center ice in, Toffoli's all by himself and just goes bar down, and everybody just loses their mind collectively here in Vancouver over it. I'm gonna be the contrarian here. I'm gonna say the Leafs take it. I don't want them to. I want it to be the Habs. I would love for me to be wrong and you guys to be right, but I want to be the contrarian here because I did pick Leafs to go on. Mind you, I also picked them in 5. So,
I picked 6.
Yeah, I felt like I really thought that Toronto was going to wipe the floor with Montreal, and they've had a lot of different things go wrong. Obviously, they've had Tavares get horrifically injured in that first period of the series, and then Marner's kind of disappeared. They've had a few issues. They don't seem to play well with the lead. They like to play kind of catch up from behind. So I could see your guys' predictions coming true where they take a lead and then they start to fumble it and Montreal turns on the heat and takes over, much like, kind of like a little bit last game. So it'll be interesting to see. That's a big one though. Who do you want to see more for like just pure hockey entertainment wise between Winnipeg and whoever wins this?
Oh, it's a good one.
Who's going to face Winnipeg?
Whoever wins Game 7.
Right.
So Toronto or Montreal, whoever takes that. Like for just pure hockey entertainment, who would you like to see play Winnipeg?
Toronto, because as much as we hate the Leafs, they got a fun team.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah,
like I like Montreal a lot, but I would love to just see like the pure firepower of the Leafs go up against Winnipeg and what they did to Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. I want to see if they can do it again. Like it would be truly remarkable if Winnipeg can like shut down 2 of the offensive powerhouses in the North and move forward, especially if they did it to the same degree or same fashion that they did with McDavid and Draisaitl. It was remarkable. Okay, here's another one. This one's from Disto, who's joined us here. So our thoughts on Emil Pettersson. This is Elias Pettersson's older brother who just won a championship in the SHL with PD's old team, actually. So kind of our thoughts, I would assume, as like he's a free agent. Should the Canucks take a shot at him? I say yeah. Like, why not? Just invite him to camp, sign him to something dirt cheap. We need everything right now.
Mm-hmm. Sign him on a PTO.
Yeah, let's give him a shot. Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? He's going to play in Abbotsford?
Like, I don't know.
Sign him to a two-way deal, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to come in for much.
He used to play with Nashville before, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was in Nashville.
I think he was in the Coyotes farm system as well for a bit. I think he was in both for a bit. But yeah, now that he's old enough, his rights have expired with his NHL team. So he is now a free agent, can sign wherever. I do think that that is kind of an avenue that the Canucks should be looking at, is unearthing a gem from kind of outside the NHL, much like the Leafs have actually done. You know, they've found, it didn't work out with this particular player, but like Mikko Lehtinen, they've found different Barabanov, you know, like different players from outside the NHL that they brought in to fill depth roles, and I think that's really brilliant, to be honest. Okay, another one. With all the Seth Jones rumors going on right now, what are your thoughts on him as a player? With like the eye test seems to love him, but the analytical community are really, really torn on and don't see as much value in Seth Jones. For the Canucks, should the Canucks make a move for Seth Jones? One more year left on his deal.
No.
Free agent at the end.
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
From what I have seen, like I haven't seen much of him, but he's not very. He hasn't been too good in his own zone this year, and I guess the analytics prove that. And the last thing the Canucks need is another defensive liability. And what are they going to give up? I saw someone say Miller Schmidt in the first, and I was like, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah,
that's. I'm sorry. Like, with all due respect, that would be crazy.
See, I could see something around Schmidt making sense for both sides, right? Like Schmidt, I thought he was fine here, but I do think that, you know, if you're able to have a natural right-handed defenseman that likes to play big minutes, lots of minutes, and able to put him with Quinn Hughes, that is an option. I like Seth Jones for that. Would I want to cough up a ton for him? No. Like, I'd be looking at trying to do like Schmidt for him. Schmidt has more term, same cap hit. I think it makes a lot of sense for Columbus. They get a similar defenseman for more term. The only thing is that he is older than Seth Jones. So kind of, yeah.
Jones 1-for-1 maybe, but like adding a first round pick, that's the last thing you like the Canucks have to do. Like, I don't care that this draft is a weaker one, but you couldn't unearth a gem with that first round pick.
Well, and there's going to be good players there. I think it's tough. Like, if you are going to cough up a first rounder for something, you'd want to do it this year. But the Canucks need ELCs. They need good young players coming in on entry-level contracts that aren't going to be costing them a fortune. Seth Jones is going to command a lot of money 1 year from now. Mind you, Canucks do have cap space a year from now. I just don't know if I want them using it for Seth Jones. I think Schmidt will have a bounce back this year too. So
he had a lot of bad luck this season. I felt like every time I saw a goal deflected off a defenseman, I felt like it was always off of Schmidt. I'm just like, guy can't
like
catch
2020 Sketcher.
Yeah.
I think defensively, Schmidt was probably the best defenseman defensively out of all Canucks.
He was really good. Yeah,
I agree.
Bad luck.
And you know what? Schmidt's a really social guy. And this year, not being able to, like, he in countless interviews this year had talked about how difficult it was not being able to meet like teammates' families, get to know his teammates better, being in a new situation, new city, like not being able to explore and do things. I think of all people, I think it really affected Nate Schmidt. I could see him kind of getting tighter with the group and enjoying his time a lot more in Vancouver than perhaps he already has, just by having a little bit more, more ability and more freedom to move around and get to know people, which will be good. I do think Schmidt's going to have a much better season this year, so that'll be good. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it for the time that we have. I know that we do have a few more questions, but I'll let you guys go about your day. I got to go back outside, shovel some more gravel. Yeah. So that's going to be fun, but it was awesome having you guys on. I do want to let you guys plug some of your stuff that you've got. I know, Josh, you've got 2 episodes out over the last couple days with your regular weekly episode, and then, of course, the emergency episode as well, both of which you can find on area51sportsnetwork.com or with Josh's link at Avid Discussers on Twitter. Max, you have been covering the Whitecaps for us all season long with your previews and recaps. The break that the Whitecaps have is coming to an end here shortly. So just give you guys an opportunity to talk about upcoming things that you're working on or what you've just done.
Josh, can I go first?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll go first. So regular episode, that's out. That was episode 53 with Point Shots Malcolm Murray. He and I, we talked about the state of the Canucks, and we just answered a bunch of like random questions. If it's like a lot of apathy in this one, again, I know, but give it a listen if you want. And of course, there's a celebratory episode thanks to these boys, and I highly recommend you listen to this one. Maybe if you're an Arsenal, Tottenham, Manchester United, Manchester City fan, maybe don't. And I got an episode coming out on Tuesday with a prominent member of the Vancouver hockey media scene. I won't say who, but I'll make the announcement on Monday.
Awesome. Look forward to that. That's going to be awesome. All right, Max, your turn.
So apparently the other day, I think it was like yesterday, or something, I thought the Whitecaps were going to be back by BC Plays this summer in July, but they announced that they're still going to stay in Utah for an extra month this year. I mean, it does make sense, right? From a stand view, like COVID isn't over. It's probably better for them to stay down in the States for an extra month for precautionary reasons. But I mean, it's still able to get in press conferences, so it's still cool. I don't mind.
Yeah, doesn't change too much for you. Yeah, no, that's awesome. And then I'll plug my stuff too, because of course you can go on to area51sportsnetwork.com, catch all of the newest episodes and articles from Max. We've got Avid Discussers recent episodes up there. We also have the most recent episode of Point Shot. We had Matt Sakaris join us this week and been able to talk about kind of how the media landscape has changed, especially since TSN 1040 went down, kind of why some of that has been changing, as well as jumping into the Sedin's announcement or lack of announcement thus far. And then, of course, with the anti-Benning, pro-Benning opinions out there, what is the line? Where is crossing the line in there? And so we were able to talk to Matt about that. So all the episodes and links are on the website. For Point Shot, it's also on YouTube, just like these episodes are. So these ones go to the Area 51 Sports Network page. Point Shot has their own YouTube channel as well. So links are all on the website. So awesome. Thanks so much, guys, for joining me this afternoon. Look forward to another week of great content from you guys, all on the website there. And we'll let our friends, High Stick Vodka, take us into the rest of our afternoon.
Allow me to introduce High Stick Vodka, a new way to celebrate victory. Gather around the glass with an award-winning, ultra-premium Canadian-made vodka. You probably won't listen when I say High Stick Vodka has a smooth, hard-hitting taste, or that it's developed in the birthplace of hockey. You won't listen when I say High Stick Vodka is a tribute to the game of hockey, or when I tell you it's distilled 4 times using Canada's purest mountain spring water to provide an authentic, remarkable flavor. But maybe you will listen when I say it comes in a fucking hockey stick. Showcase your passion for hockey with our limited edition hand-blown hockey stick bottle. Whether you're celebrating victory or drinking to defeat, High Stick Vodka is better after every shot. Visit us at highstickvodka.com. It also comes in this regular bottle. Celebrate victory. Drink responsibly.